Carolina being the home team, it's a division game. Typically, I pick the home team, but I just don't like that Saints offense on grass.
See, for me, I know that Carolina put up a good fight against Seattle this past week, but to me, I think this is a season-defining game for the Saints because they are, up to this point, not a very good team on the road. Now, mind you, like I said, a few on our break, a few of their wins, or a few of their losses, were only by a point or two on the road. But I think they need to go out, and I think they know they need to go out and have a big game on the road just to prove to the naysayers that they can do it.
Oh, I wouldn't even go.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah, you're right, but they haven't done it yet. But go ahead.
I wouldn't even go as far as to go that far. I mean, the bottom line is the Panthers are giving up they've given up 16 passing touchdowns on this season. Saints 12. 8 rushing touchdowns, Saints 7. The bottom line here is the Panthers are giving up way too many points, and they cannot outscore that Saints offense. I don't care if they're playing on sand. I don't care if it's quicksand. I don't care if it's wet concrete. The reality is when you look at it, the Saints just have a better team, player for player, scheme for scheme, defense versus defense, offense versus offense.
I agree.
Well, there you have it.
Keith, I mean, how can you go against that?
The Saints,
I don't know.
Yeah, right, yeah. The Saints have played 4 home games and only 3 home games, so it's a little skewed. But if you look at the difference between home and away, and for whatever reason, I'm not saying there's any rhyme or reason to it. It is what it is sometimes. And really, did you just yawn at me?
You did.
I did.
You just freaking yawned at me.
So did all of our listeners.
Sorry, man.
Holy
I
crap.
had a long day.
Drew Brees has thrown 3 interceptions on the season. All 3 have been on the road. He's been sacked 5 times this season. 4 of those have been on the road. They're just different on the road. So I may be wrong, but you know what? I was right this week when I picked the Saints to beat the Packers. You guys didn't have any faith. Now all of a sudden you're Saints lovers.
Well, I'm not saying Saints lovers,
No,
but really,
get
if you
out.
look at it, 3 of their road games combined loss of 6 points. So, I mean, it's not like they were getting blown out. Now, mind you, the Dallas Cowboys, other than their loss tonight, they've been on a roll and they trounced the Saints pretty badly. But their other 3 losses were close. And they were against, Detroit is number 1 in their division. Cleveland is a much better team this year. Atlanta, they're kind of in the toilet right now, but the beginning, that first game of the season, they were firing on all cylinders. So it's not like they were getting torched in all these games on the road. They were in every game. They just couldn't find that one piece to win it.
The Saints, it's a formula for success in the NFL when things come together. Jimmy Graham is finally healthy. He looked great the other night. They finally learned how to use Brandon Cook effectively on offense. He looked great the other night. Mark Ingram, oh my God, where has this guy been? 22 carries, 137, 47 yards, whatever the craziness was. Where has he been? But he's finally here now. That defense played well against one of the best offenses in the league and didn't shut him down, but did a pretty damn good job. I'll take that over the Panthers any day, and I do love the Panthers. They played the Seahawks so well, but they played to that team. Now they've got to play to a different team, and I just can't see it happening, even though if there was a game for them to win, this is it, the one on the road or the one at home.
All right. The point is, this is not to convince you. It's just to state my case. And so you guys,
no, and I'm just stating the opposite.
You guys shout me down, and we'll see you next week. Okay. I'm done fighting today. I'm all fought out.
I'm tired of you bullying up on Steve, so I'm defending him.
Thank you, Jim.
Oh, please. Get off the cross. We need the wood. I mean, honestly. All right, Jim.
Sounded horrible.
Jim, you go next. San Diego versus Miami. Steve and I are picking the Chargers. You're picking the Dolphins, who are on a little bit of an uptick.
The Chargers aren't a very good road team, speaking of road teams. And they've sort of proven that. Their first loss on the road, their first game was on the road to the Cardinals.
All of a sudden, those statistics mean something now. Oh.
Well, no. But look, I'm still looking at sort of the bigger picture, and the bigger picture here is when you add up the numbers of what they're scoring on the road, how much they're giving up, when they play good defenses opposed to average defenses or less than average defenses, this to me is a critically tough game for them. The Dolphins are just like the Saints, sort of everything's converging at the same time. They've got their running game in order. They've got their defense in order. Ryan Tannehill can certainly throw up a couple of TDs and Lamar Miller score a touchdown because this score is going to be somewhere around 24-21, something like that. And you take, for example, the Chargers played the Raiders. Derek Carr throws 4 TDs. I was stunned by that. You put up the Chargers against Arizona, they lose by 1 point. You put them up against the Chiefs, they lose by 3 points. You put them up against the Broncos with a good defense, they can only score 21. Now, they did beat the Bills on the road, but that was at the beginning of the season with E.J. Manuel under center. So I can't really look at that game and count it. So when I look at their overall body of work, this is a game that I think they should lose.
See, now to me, I could see Miami winning this game because Miami has improved quite a bit. But I look at this game as, and I bet San Diego Chargers do as well. This is a huge game for them because you look at the rest of their schedule. If they can win this game, get some momentum going to their bye week. They come out of their bye week, they got a game against Oakland at home, so you pretty much can scratch that up as a victory. But then they got to play a tough St. Louis team on the road at Baltimore, home against New England, home against Denver, on the road at San Fran, on the road at Kansas City.
Wow,
to me,
that's a tough schedule.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous schedule. So if I was the San Diego Chargers, I would look at this game at Miami as almost a must-win because they cannot have, 3, 4, 5 losses going into that final stretch starting with Baltimore. Because St. Louis isn't even a gimme anymore. And I know Oakland is doing better, but in San Diego, I don't think they have a shot. But St. Louis, they've been, they had a rough week this week, but they've been putting a good fight up in most of their games. But once they go to Baltimore, that is a just devastating end of their schedule. So to me, I think this is legitimately a must-win for them at this point in the season.
They're still 4th in scoring defense, the Chargers are. And Ryan Tannehill, while he has had a couple nice, decent games the last couple weeks, hasn't shown me enough to make me pick him over that.
There are injuries, though, for San Diego.
Oh,
their defense, though, has shown me enough.
So hold on, I'm trying to.
Oh my God, he's looking up stats. Jim, for one of the first times in a while, I'm actually at Keith's house, so we're doing the show, and I'm actually watching him trying to look up these stats. It's like watching my mom trying to program her iPhone.
Really,
it really is. It
really
is.
Really, that's really.
And I love my mother, Mom. I know you're probably not listening, but if you are,
really.
Is he reaching for the notebook all the way in the back?
He is.
Yeah,
that's great.
Scratching his head.
That's fantastic. Yeah. You guys are great. All right, so the next game I'm on the hot seat for, I'm picking the Houston Texans to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And this really comes down to nothing more than Philadelphia went to Arizona, and Arizona is a little bit – they're gutting out wins. They're winning games. They're not winning by much, but they're winning games. You can't take anything away from them. And Philly's supposed to be one of those offensive juggernaut teams that are supposed to be able to find a way to get around that. But Nick Foles has not been what he was in a very small sample size last year. So you're going to Houston. Texans are 4-4. I know that's more than you guys thought that they would be at this point. But they have the 8th leading scoring defense. They're 2nd in turnovers. Playing at home against, what is, I think, a surprisingly suspect Philadelphia Eagles team. I'm sticking with the home team in this one.
See, I look at Philadelphia. Now Houston's defense. I love J.J. Watt. I think he is easily near the top of the list of MVP candidates for this season.
By the way, Steve, I think you're the only one that loves him. I'm just letting you know that.
Well, okay, after the selfie thing, maybe he took a shot, but Houston's defense, I don't think they match up well against Philly's offense, especially with Chip Kelly's quick motion, always shifting things around. And especially after Dallas's loss tonight, every game now in this division, because you have Washington that is showing signs of improvement, but then you have Dallas and Philly who are neck and neck. I think this has become a very interesting division. So to me, I think Philly is going to go into this game knowing that they have the tools to win, knowing they have the ability to win, and now they have extra incentive to win. So I think that Philadelphia has the tools they need to win this game, and I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick can keep up with the Eagles' offense as far as points.
That's what did it for me in this one. It was, for me, this was another game that I had considered, could the Texans win this? But when you boil it right down to it, regardless of the defense that the Texans are putting on the field, that's a defense that will give up some points. And the question is, can the Texans generate enough points to keep up with the Eagles? Let's just say they put up 21 points. Can they keep up that offense? Well, I think Aaron Foster could easily be good for 2 touchdowns. But can Ryan Fitzpatrick be good for 1? 2? That's my problem, and that's the only reason why I took the Eagles in this one. But Keith, I see your point on this one.
Well, thank God for that.
I wanted you to have one
with
tonight.
it, but he sees it.
Hey, I appreciate it. So, hold on one second. I lost my spreadsheet. Here we go. Jim, the next game that you are on the hot seat for, you are the only one picking the Denver Broncos to beat the New England Patriots. So you lead